Well, it did definitely influence me because modeling, I started in Russia, then I continued in Florida, then I went to New York. And modeling in New York taught me like everything about energy, timing, presentation. I remember running between castings up one casting uptown, and there was no room to be late. You have to be on time. One time I showed up late to casting for this amazing designer. His name was Luca on the Upper East Side. And when I came in, and I saw that they were waiting for me, and I was the only one model on the list. And I saw how they actually depended on me so much. That moment really struck me, and the feeling of being late, of wasting somebody's time, is kind of taught me in that moment. Since then, I've made it a point to always show up on time, to respect people's space and energy. In that world, I was often paid in luxury clothes, not just beautiful but exquisite quality. You could feel it. Wearing something well made, made me feel very special and unique, and that stayed with me as well. And now, whatever I create, whatever it is, an avatar or a world or a game, whatever it is, it has to carry that same standard, that same sense of uniqueness, of quality, of something you don't forget. Very important for me.
Wow, that is very good to know, especially as we are developing on this Web3, and as you mentioned, you have learned what quality is like since before you even step into it. But let me dive into it. What does it mean being a creator to you on a personal level?
For me, being a creator isn't about making art just to make it. It's about sharing this feeling, a sense of inner presence or quiet power that's cannot always be explained with words. But there is where it gets interesting, and it's a little contradictory. Sometimes, when you create something powerful, people see it and feel like they don't have it, and that can make them feel frustrated or disconnected, like they want it but don't know how to access it. That's why I believe creators have this responsibility. If I have a certain energy or a vision or a gift that someone resonates with, then it's not just mine. I can use it to support others, to help them unlock that feeling for themselves. If someone admires what I create, I want them to know that they can have it too. With those tools, uh, what we have now, like especially in Web3, in the Metaverse, we can build now spaces, avatars, and experiences that actually share that energy. That's like the magic here. So it's not really about keeping it to myself. It's about creating something that gives others the feeling that they're part, like so they feel and like they're part of it as well. That's why creations means to me
Nice.
not, yes, it's not just expression, but like it's a transmission.
I like the fact that you say that you like your art or your creations to speak without words. And a lot of these virtual experiences are able and allow us to communicate exactly without words. But I would actually like to get to know how you first discovered spatial and what made you dive into it.
Well, that's a good question. Well, during the pandemic, everybody remembers pandemic.
Yes,
I
we do.
finally I finally had time to like slow down and explore new things online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a lot was shifting in my life at that time, and I had just sold. I was living in Hawaii, and I had just sold my entire collection of my oversized paintings in Hawaii. And those pieces were super special to me, and I was super happy that collectors collected those pieces. So after that, I felt like I didn't really want to stay in Hawaii anymore, and so I moved back to Florida, and that was still during pandemic. And I started diving into what was happening at this digital space. So everyone was talking about NFTs. I was listening to podcasts, Twitter Spaces, all these talks. It was all about NFTs. It felt like it felt like this moment. So I figured if I could make a small collection of NFTs, it might open some new doors, like creatively. So I
Oh,
taught my yeah. So I taught myself how to write smart contracts, generate the art, and mint NFTs on the. I minted like 50 first NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain. So that was
okay.
the beginning of my collection, and so I didn't know really what to do with this collection. So I started like looking around how to express and how to show it off. And one day I was listening to the Instagram live with the Spatial team, and they were so excited. The hype was like so real. They had just given their avatars legs, and they were super excited. I had visited Spatial once before, and I didn't love it at first because the avatars kind of were floated, and
Okay.
yeah, and just felt like incomplete. But hearing about the updates, it really sparked my curiosity again, so I jumped back in. And
Oh,
by
okay.
yeah, and by then I already had my studio named IraXLab. So I signed up and registered the account under that name. And on the same day, I joined Spatial. Maybe not the same day, but somewhere close. I met Stilo, the musician, our famous, beautiful musician, who immediately invited me to join their weekly music concerts. And it was super exciting. I was very kind of nervous to meet all of these people. And so
Oh.
that's it. From that moment, I never left Spatial.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's very interesting. How the pandemic definitely shaped a lot of our lives, and that I'm sure that is a time that of us will never forget. But the beauty about it is that exactly it allowed a lot of people to slow down on their lifestyle and be able to see what else it can be done. And yeah, I remember the time of the NFTs being pulled out everywhere. It was a wild time, and it is very interesting the fact that Spatial felt more aligned with you. I'm sure that you explore other spaces. I believe that you explore Second Life briefly, but you decided to stay on Spatial. How was Spatial different, or how did it felt more aligned with you? I know that the legs play a big factor, but was it anything else that made you feel like this is it for you?
Yes, sure. I cannot really compare Second Life to Spatial, but before discovering Spatial, I did explore Second Life for a while. I remember having to download the platform, and once I entered, it just didn't feel bright or open. It felt kind of like distant, like it was floating outside of the real world. I think it's because you have to download something. So it's like almost hidden space. It was interesting, but it didn't feel like a place I could truly like create from. It just didn't align with how I think or work. Then I found like Spatial and everything changed. It felt instantly lighter, cleaner, and much more like intuitive. And the reason why I liked Spatial is because it was so easy. I didn't need to be overly technical or a coder. Just, I opened my first NFT gallery with the template, and it was so easy. And to my surprise, people started jumping into my space. And so the connections I made were real conversations, energy, community. It felt so alive and spatial. So, but being WebGL based also made it more accessible and grounded. Like spatial didn't feel like a place to escape into. It felt like an more of an extension of the real world. A canvas like where I could actually grow, and that made all the difference for me. I do really like the idea of WebGL. You enter the world with one link, super easy, no hassle.
Yes. Oh, so that the fact that it was so easy and it allowed for you to dive into the NFTs, meet your collection. Was that part of the moment that you felt like this is your home as creator, as an artist, as as yourself? Like was that part of the moment that you found yourself at home, as some people will say?
Honestly, it felt like home almost immediately after I started using it. I connected with so many different creators, from artists to builders, and we quickly like formed this powerful creative circle. It felt so organic and full of potential. Back then, we didn't have Unity or games yet. It was all about galleries, but
Oh, nice.
the energy was so alive. The spatial team was super involved with the community at the time, and you can feel that things were happening. People wanted to be part of. Like some artists were even competing for this curated gallery spots. That's how passionate and engaged the community was. There were parties, interviews, collaborations. Everyone was excited, and yes, people were definitely hungry for this spatial spotlight. For me, it wasn't.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't just a platform, and it became like my space, my creative home, and it still is. And I remember like Twitter space was very busy. Tyrone Webb, he was doing Twitter spaces every Thursday. All the creators would join Twitter space, like try to improve the platform somehow, try to highlight some things. And there were competitions, and everybody was just looking for Twitter where Spatial would highlight the creators, would repost their posts, and sometimes would
Yeah.
speak about it. It was super 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 cool time.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you have mentioned that you have done a lot of collabs and events in this space, but I'm sure that there's projects or at least you can name a few projects that you're being proud to be part of, collab, or yourself showcase in this space.
Well, I'm proud of everything we have created in Spatial, but definitely like this I Rule series definitely stands out. It all began when I met my partner, 90 Ghost. We instantly clicked and decided to collaborate. At first, we were building simple NFT galleries with these GLPs and minimal layouts. That phase helped us like understand how Spatial worked from the ground up. Once Unity support came in, a whole new world opened, and we were just right away we dove right in. We launched this space where we are right now. We
Oh,
launched
nice.
Rule 01. Also, it's called Beauty Quest, based on the hexagram 1 of the I Ching. So it's based on the I Ching system, Chinese divination system,
Oh,
also
okay.
hexagrams. So players had to find in this world six fires scattered through the space and activate this mystical throne and go and light up this world into. So what happens once you're at the throne? This world will light up into fire. So you will see like a big fire ring around the space. So it
Oh,
was,
wow.
yes. So it was our first immersive game, and the response was wild. We've got over 40,000 people visited in just like a few months, and so it really quickly became a community hub filled with like super energy, creativity, and real connections. You cannot believe how many people would just jump in, thousands of people every day. It was such an amazing time for us. And that's why, like, we would never forget this. So, yeah. Mm.
That's nice. Always, whenever any creator has the support and feels the love of the community, it always lit the fire internally even more, and always usually makes the creator push even harder for better ideas and improve everything overall. I'm sure that that keeps happening to you as much as the growth is happening. There's always new ideas and new things to do.
Well, what was exciting about that time is that it was the first steps of this unity integration, the first steps, and we have so many good creators here, and they knew what they were doing at the first days. So they would actually create something super amazing and would bring it to this space, and we would just destroy this space with cars, with some shopping carts, with some crazy things like people would bring here broken avatars, and we would just play. It was crazy play, and then you have to, there is this option in space where you kind of delete everything. So I had to delete everything like 50 times a day because there was so much junk in space, and it was still dysfunctional. If things would fall on the floor, they would kind of disappear into space, and they would bug the space so bad, so you will never know what happened. So yeah.
I'm sure that in any new experience, there's a lot of trial and error, but the beauty about it is the persistency that you guys showcase, at the end, that is what really makes anything, the persistency and consistency of it. Um, but
Yeah,
you
so
mentioned that this was sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention a few more things. There is also a game Idol 02, which was opened up after this one, and it has so many other things that we're proud of. We were always the first ones. We created these rideables animals where you can go and put the camel, tiger, snake, and kind of ride them in a desert. There is all kinds of, then after that it came idol store, just because we had so many animations, we had to keep on opening the places where we can like position our product around those spaces. So the idol store was all around animations. So we had dancing money floors where you start dancing, there is like money dance with you. There is a ton of custom animation displays and all kinds of like auras. And there is a spicy fish where you can sit down on that spicy fish and fly in the air.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so you're asking me about these projects I'm proud of. I'm proud of all these projects, and also I'm proud of the holiday events, custom avatar drops, and every community party we have hosted. I love when people walk into the space and immediately feel something like real. And yeah, it was happening for us.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. You do mention something about your dance animations and selling avatars and all that. I believe that you're a top marker seller. Am I right?
That's correct.
Awesome. Congratulations for that. I'm know that it takes a lot of work to 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 stay a top creator, but as well to make your work resonate with others. How do you do it? How do you make that possible?
Yeah, it's interesting because we when the Unity Creator Toolkit opened up, it was a good time for us because I was thinking, okay, I was super tired of pressing the same keys. We had this default keys for dancing, and they were just five, maybe five, six. Okay, it was super, super limited. And I was very tired of pressing those keys. So I promised to myself, if I have the opportunity, the first thing I would do is to create like huge long animations where you don't have to press nothing. And that was my kind of G button, G spot button, because I really wanted that. And yeah, that was the first thing actually I created. I created two dances, one female for female, which
Oh.
was more like female oriented, and then one was for male, and I gave them specific keys. One is L for love, and one is K for king, so nobody will forget that. And yeah, giving this to people is just really give a big shift. And how, like, I saw how people started engaging with this platform in a different way. And of course, in the beginning, people were used to getting everything for free, and I really enjoy things, giving things away and see people happy. But once I started selling my work, not everyone reacted well. Some people supported me right away and some didn't. But we kept on going, just stay focused, and eventually became the top sellers in the spatial marketplace. And I think it's still, I still think we hold that spot. At the end of the day, I think like the work resonates because like it's all about energy, and every item, every world, every movement, it made to make someone feel something real here. That's why we made it, to that moment, because they enjoyed it. They really enjoyed it, and people wanted those dances. It was easy, and it was like my friend is here in space right now. Her name is Lofi,
Oh, nice.
and she's a DJ, a real DJ, music DJ, and she has been supporting me since the day one, and I'm like so blessed to have these people around myself. She has all my animations, she has all my auras. She comes in the first moment I release something, she comes and steals them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Always having friendships that support you and that don't envy you, honestly, such a blessing because they push you to do better, to be better, and the fact that they applaud you behind your back in front of you, those are usually the people that you want around. And like you said, there's always people who are gonna be willing to show support the right way. Some people will be hesitant, but at the end, um, the people that are meant for you will always support you, and it's awesome to see and hear that there's people like that in this space. Luffy, you have made an incredible friend here to Ira, and she will never forget that. People who have, I know about that because I have a friend as well who has supported me since day one. And those friendships are become family, honestly, because they will tell you the things how they are, and they will support you and will applaud you. And honestly, friendships, like I'm saying, are such a blessing. And well, we already got to know part of your background, part of what you do currently. I know that with every single creator, there's always a question if they're willing to share what projects or events that you're currently focusing on or that people could be looking out for. I don't know if you can share some of that or you want to share some of that.
Mm. Well, it has always been like a top secret. um, I would never kind of say what I'm actually doing, and people would wonder so much. But right now, we're focused on building custom spaces and accessories for brands and companies. Those projects are super tailored. Some are built literally like brick by brick with a focus on clean optimization, functionality, and smooth performance during those high stake, events or live meetings. Every details matter in our spaces. We I know some people would come to me. I would probably like not even look for people, but they know me and they would come to me and they would ask me to build something. Sometimes I would say, well, uh, you can shop around. There is more builders, and they would say, no, we want you to build it. So I'm super happy that I have this, dedicated people, and they stand by me and they want me to build the spaces. So I'm very uh, I think not lucky, but I don't know how to explain it. Lucky to have them. I don't know. It's just I'm in a good place, and we
That's
also
awesome.
yes we also continue to collaborate with artists, like host events. We do it yearly now. For example, we have fashion metaverse, which happens yearly, and they always ask for us to host their events. So we're super glad to do that because there is so many people involved, so many AI artists, there is so many brands who want to have a good experience, and we're happy to give it. And
Oh,
so
that's
yeah,
awesome.
we develop avatars, animations, and uh, yeah, just bringing life and emotions into spatial. Uh, once One of our favorite things is supporting others with their like launches. When somebody launches their space, we love to support. We love large scale conferences and yeah, creative rollouts. There's so much going on behind the scenes, and usually, like if you're staying in space, sometimes I would stay in space here, and people would feel like I'm just sitting here around, but no way. We are busy behind the scenes and always doing something amazing. And
I'm sure.
yeah, and so many things coming up. Like I'm working right now on this new avatar, and I cannot wait for it to come out, but it's just so challenging because spatial is limited. There is huge limitations in textures and vertices. So we have to be super careful, to bring the good product. You need to spend some time building it for sure.
Yeah, definitely, especially with each platform having its in and out. I'm sure that um, the more that you do it and the more that the space evolves, there's new things to learn and new things to fix. I understand that coming from Horizon myself, that it keeps evolving. So every time that there's something new, it's like, okay, so how do we do it? How do we fix it? How does it work? And well, it comes with its trials and tribulations, but it's definitely a journey to enjoy and to remember. But I know that you mentioned something about making bigger events, having a bigger audience. Is that something that you're dreaming about your future events, your future creations? Would you like a bigger audience?
I am dreaming about building this something that I have been dreaming is about building immersive like world for the fashion brands. But
Okay.
I'm not there yet because it I know it can be like a huge project, and I need to have a team of people doing it. You cannot do it all yourself because a fashion project would involve probably building the space, building all kinds of experiences, right? So
Yeah.
coming from a fashion background, I understand how transformative branded environment can be, and I would love to bring that energy into like virtual showrooms, runways, and experimental, like those spaces that feel like modern, digital, you know. Yeah,
Okay.
but you know, I we have been speaking about it, and just the idea of creating like all of these components is just overwhelming.
I
So
understand that.
you have to be ready for it for sure. So, but that's
Yes.
my kind of dream,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah.
Well, I'm very positive that you will get to create that, especially with your background and the experience that you have on the industry. I'm very positive that it will happen. And like you say, in big projects, you need people, you need help because, like you mentioned, we cannot do everything ourselves. And great creators, great people acknowledge that. And I'm sure that people who don't know you love to hear that, the fact that um, the humbleness that it requires to acknowledge that we need help. And I'm sure that you mentioned making these virtual spaces for fashion, but I would like to ask you, is that something that you would like to stay with just on spatial, or would you like it to go or transcend into real life that you're able to make this type of stuff?
That's a good question. Well, we're always exploring, and recently we became creators on a new gaming platform where yeah, we've been testing some mechanics and storytelling approaches. Um, yeah, those are new like building tools, but it's all good. I don't want anybody to jump into that world yet because I really want to kind of focus and don't not being distracted. I don't want like anybody to know that I'm building there yet
Yeah.
because you know just like the focus is very important, and then you know to deliver a good product you need a lot of time as well.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been an inspiring shift. I also served when we started Spatial here. Also served as a light keeper. I don't know if you know that platform. It's called Lighthouse. So
No,
I was.
I have not.
Mhm. I was a light keeper at the lighthouse, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, that was an interesting platform. It's like it connects creators. Actually, it connects all
Yes.
metaverses, all platforms, metaverse platforms together in one place. It was very interesting. So because of that, I had the opportunity to explore like nearly every active metaverse out there today.
No,
So
I have
I get
not.
invited to a lot of events by friends across different communities, and I
Oh,
truly love
okay.
experiencing, you know, what others are building. So, but whatever, yeah, I probably have been to all of the metaverses that's out there. I'm not sitting in one place. I'm discovering. I'm learning. So whatever inside spatial or beyond, I'm always paying attention to what's next, emotionally.
Awesome.
Yeah, emotionally, artistically, and culturally. Yeah, the metaverse is still evolving, and I kind
Yes.
of want to be a part of this movement.
That's very good to know and very interesting at the same time because a lot of us have the tendency that once that we find a comfortable spot, we stay there. And it's always so refreshing to meet people who are on the lookout for new spaces, for new opportunities, and therefore if you have the pleasure of being around these people like yourself, we get to be informed about them and we follow you guys. That's pretty much what happens. But I would like to ask you this question. Would you say that working in the metaverse has shaped the way that you see human connection or interaction? Because a lot of us have the tendency that once that we
Definitely,
find a comfortable
definitely.
spot, we
It
stay
showed
there.
me that
And it's always so refreshing to meet people who are
emotion,
on the lookout for new
intention,
spaces, for
and
new
energy
opportunities, and
can
therefore,
absolutely travel through space, through colors, through motions, through design. You can feel someone's vibe without even seeing their face.
oh,
I
yes.
Yes. what what matters isn't your like camera, your outfit, or
Oh,
how loud
yes.
you are. It's really your frequency. When someone steps into a space you have created,
Yes.
they feel it. That's real connection. And the metaverse is not just a place, it's like emotional ecosystem through design. It's a living network of these people bringing their fears, dreams, talents, and
Oh,
traumas
yes.
into shared environments. And if you can like really navigate with that clarity and
Oh,
intention
yes.
that you set for yourself, you don't just exist here, you actually like build something what matters. I've been I've seen a lot in this metaverse, and the more you get involved into the community, the harder it actually gets, because the people are not people are here to express. They express not only their creations, but they also come here to express their feelings. They're sharing their ideas, and yeah, it becomes kind of like this ecosystem.
Yeah. I love everything that you just said, honestly. I will do a round of applause for that because you're absolutely right. Even on this virtual space, even though that we don't get to see each other's face, we can feel the energy and the frequency. I love the fact that you use that specific word because it is so true. It is undeniably true in this space. And the funniest part is that some people don't acknowledge it, some people do acknowledge it, but the fact that the way that you said it was so well said. So a round of applause for that. I love the fact that you said emotion, intention can be sensed into the space. And well, you did mention as well that it's an ecosystem of emotions and people bring in everything of who they are and their dreams, their fears. That beautifully said. And well, with that in mind, I would like to ask you this next question. Where do you think that we're heading on terms on how people interact with the digital spaces and themselves?
Oh, that's an amazing question, and I believe that we're moving into the era of emotionally intelligent digital spaces. Since we've been here for almost 3.5 years, we've experimented so much that we kind of understand what is the emotionally intelligent digital space. And also with the rise of the AI agents, I think these interactions and tools will basically start making this world more alive kind of way. I'm not sure if how creators will express through AI agents, but I believe that we can make it interesting. Places that kind of mirror your energy. Um,
Yeah.
yes, and well, I think people will become also more telepathic in a way, not literally, but yeah, energetically. We will start sensing like the vibe of the space of a group of people and know instantly if it's for us or not. It's not just about logging in anymore. It's about like belonging,
Yes.
alignment, and like emotional presence. I think that's what metaverse is about. It's like, do you belong here? You can be here. You can be in that space. You can roll around and dance with people, but do you really belong there? You know? And
Yeah.
why are you actually doing it? That's like this becomes like an intelligence. Why do you do it? Do you have a reason? What's your truth? So we have to be and become like more intelligent into this time where we
Yes.
spend our time, right?
Our time, our energy, and resources. And resources doesn't only go through money. Time is a resource, and unfortunately, a resource that doesn't come back. So And you're so right about the fact that we have to belong to the space. We have to feel like we're at home. That's because that's always that I have always said myself with people in my space. Once that you find your group of people, it will be really hard to get out. No, because it's not something that you're not able to obtain outside, but you relate more to this group of people in so many ways. Just by the fact of being in the virtual space is a way to relate with people, and the fact that you mentioned that the spaces are becoming more emotionally intelligent, uh, and the creators as well. The creators on these virtual spaces get to understand not only the human emotion but the human interaction and the human connection on these spaces, and how, like you mentioned, we become more telepathically, but more on the sense of, do I vibe? Does it feel good? Do I feel welcome? Is the space welcoming itself? Uh, well, I'm sure that you know what that is like. In I mean, you make the expressions, you make the avatars, the spaces, the games. I'm sure that you definitely understand what goes into that. And well, Ira, I would like to probably end this episode with this final question for anyone who's watching and anyone who it's getting to know you. Well, probably two questions, but first this one. Uh, what advice will you offer to someone who's just starting their journey in the metaverse?
Okay, advice for just starting. I just had today a girl who came to my space. I think it was the first time for her to start in the metaverse. First of all, I would say taking your time to basically feel comfortable in your avatar at first, right? And then start discovering by yourself, because it sometimes can be really challenging to guide people who come first in the metaverse and they don't know what they're doing. So it becomes like drainy. So yeah, come in and be comfortable first in your avatar, correct? Like feel your avatar first, and then only start joining all the spaces, and be honest with yourself. Like just feel what's real and bring your truth into what you're entering. Find your people, the ones who uplift you, of course, challenge you and help you grow. Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid, like, to say no to anything that doesn't align. How many times I was so blamed and so, like, the energy has changed just because I said no, I don't have time, no, I don't align, and people will get upset. But yes, don't be afraid to say no. This space moves really fast, but real alignment lasts longer than hype.
Yeah.
Mm, don't stick with people whose energy is based on fear of missing out, not getting something for free, not being invited. It is like, if it doesn't feel good, don't waste your time. And yes, it's true, like, people have fear of missing out, so they would just stick themselves into the space and just be there and be miserable sometimes and still be there. Why? And yes, there is also trolls in space. I
Oh.
have been trolled like really badly. People who show up with just to hate,
Hmm.
interrupt, and stir some kind of chaos. It's frustrating, but often it's just another form of seeking connection for them. It
Hmm.
is, yeah, someone is just looking for love or power, just like in a messy way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to be aware of those. And sometimes you just don't know who is who, and they don't use their real names, of course. And you're lost, and you start trusting people, and you find out that those are like the bad people. And I kind of know by now what Spatial is about and who is who. So yeah, takes time, and of course the creators, the builders, the wanderers, the disruptors, everyone brings something to Spatial. So but the key is to know who you are and why you're here.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's how you move through the metaverse with like meaning, and that's how you create work that truly like resonates.
Wow, that was beautifully said. And I guess if anyone has been on this space for long enough, they deal with haters, trollers, uh, people who don't align. And like you said, we always have to be brave to stay true to ourselves because, like you said, there's people who are they have FOMO, the fear of missing out, and they will just place themselves anywhere with things that they don't align. And like you said, true purpose stays longer than a trend. It lasts longer and is definitely feels more true to yourself as well as a creator. Ira, this has been a wonderful conversation. And for lastly, if anyone would like to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
Well, I'm all over social media. It's mostly Twitter. Twitter has been my favorite. It's just because
Okay.
it kind of aligns with my audience, Web3 audience. We have Twitter Spaces, which is super fun. And so it's IraXLab at Twitter. And of course, my website is IraXLab.com. You can find all the links there as well. I do have Instagram, not that much active on Instagram, just because of this misconnection kind of with the real world. I feel
Yeah.
like every time I post something on Instagram and it's not related to real world people, my real artists who don't go to metaverse, I would think that they would jump in and basically jump in and connect and come to my worlds. No, it's not true. They're not interested, and it's really hard to get them into the world. So,
I
yeah.
understand that, but little by little, let's hope that as the technology evolves, the space evolves, and I do believe that Web3 will become mainstream. It is another social platform, just in a different way, because you get to interact with the superstars at this point. That's how I like to put it to people. You get to talk to them, you get to know them, and you get to know how they think and who they are, and that is wonderful to know, to hear. And the persistency as a creator, sometimes that's what it makes the curiosity of other people. And I'm sure that you have people looking at you, maybe they don't say it, but we always have secret admirers that are on the lookout for the next thing that you do. um, but Ira, this was wonderful. It was a wonderful conversation. I hope that you and your team get many, many more projects going and a lot of more success, you guys, on your way. And well, guys, this was the first ever episode here at the Meta Spotlight, brought to you by the Avatar Me. I hope that you guys can join us on our next one, getting to know more creators on this virtual space. And well, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Don't forget to follow Ira and to follow me myself and the Avatar Me. And well, guys, we'll be seeing you very, very soon. Thank you for joining in and see ya. If y'all have any questions, please shoot them on the comments or on the lives. I'm sure that we would like to know what you guys think, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and save if anything. So I don't know, Ira, if there's anything else that you would like to tell to the audience.
I wanted to say thank you, the Avatar Me, thank you, Complex. Uh, Thank you so much for just being so curious and so nice. And I wish to see you more on Spatial, of course. And I
Yes,
wish the
of
best of
course.
luck for your podcast. And looking forward to hear about more beautiful creators out there and learn about them. Definitely, great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ira. We'll be here more often and we'll be seeing more of your creations. And well, guys, this is all for tonight. I hope that you guys get are able to join us on our next episode. We see you again very, very soon.